all you boppers out there, no matter what time of day it is, we hope you're feeling fabulous. I'd like to welcome you to the Tell Me a Story podcast. We here at UUMC believe that storytelling is a groovy way to get to know the people around you. Don't know where to start? Don't sweat it. We'll get that ball rolling for you by throwing out a couple of conversation starters and having a little chat. But remember, it's not just about our story, it's about yours. So if you connect with something we're sharing, go ahead and pause. Share with the people around you. Maybe you're riding shotgun, joining you for dinner, or catching some rays down at the beach. And you know, if you're down to share, lay them on us. We'd love to hear. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, you can just leave them in the comment section down below. We've got an out-of-sight episode for you today. We have Megan, Earl, and Chad sitting down chatting about some righteous eats and their favorite things about food. Stoked to have you with us here on Tell Me a Story. Have a blast with today's episode.
All right, first question.
Ready.
Megan,
Yes.
in 100 years,
It's a long time.
your descendants are still passing down your signature dish. What is it?
It is peanut butter noodles.
Peanut butter noodles.
Yes. I was at a restaurant several years ago, and I had this kind of Thai Asian-ish dish that was noodles and vegetables and a peanut butter sauce.
Okay.
And so I adapted it myself, found a recipe that was sort of similar, and I've been making it for everybody. I know. I've never made it for you, Chad. I feel bad about that right now. But I like a spicy, salty peanut butter sauce with noodles and vegetables. Okay. That's what I have made a lot.
How long have you been making it?
I've been probably making it for 10 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe long. Cool. No, maybe longer. Maybe like 12 or 15. Yeah, long time.
All right.
It's my mom's favorite thing that I make.
Okay.
And also like peanut butter cinnamon rolls, which was her thing that she made that I've started making. Like peanut butter in general is the thing.
So that's a question on
There's
that.
There's a theme here.
Is like if somebody passes on a dish, but you change it out.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Is that yours now? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's mine here because people here
right.
don't know my mother.
Like you introduce it.
Yeah. So I'm introducing it to
take
a whole
ownership
new
of
group
that.
of people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But the PB Nudes, peanut butter noodles, is
your dish. Only
dish.
you.
Probably shouldn't have said that. Yes. Sorry.
What about you, Earl?
I have actually asked Jihei about my signature dish.
Yeah.
So she said there are two.
Okay.
First one is bean chorizo soup.
Oh.
Second one is
Interesting.
paella,
Okay.
Spanish dish.
Look at you, Earl.
What is it again?
Paella.
Oh, paella.
Yeah. So
How did you learn to make paella?
I
That's
learned
like
it.
super hard.
No, it's not. It's not hard.
No?
It's basically, I just learned it from a YouTube video.
Okay, great. Good for you.
And that is so complicated. So I just simplify my process.
Cool.
So I just do it in a very simple way, like a, Asian way. Just cook the rice in a pot
Yeah.
with like a seafood and
Cool.
whole things.
I'm very impressed.
love
I mean,
paella.
we're definitely going to Earl's house for paella.
Come on
next.
over, I can cook for you.
Okay.
We,
Definitely.
there
Come
was
later this fall.
a restaurant in New Orleans called Lola's that had paella, and there was always a wait. I mean, like an hour and a half wait, and then the paella took like 45 minutes, and they made everything to order. So like,
Yeah.
you would wait for an hour, 2 hours to get in, and then you order your paella, in the big cast iron.
Hmm.
Wow.
It takes time and it needs cast iron pan, good
Yes.
pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
good. So good.
What about you, Chad? What's your signature? Is it meat?
No,
Is it grilled meat?
no.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Yeah, no. I was trying to think of. So the only meat that is like I make a pretty good rib,
Of course you do.
like pork ribs in my family. So whenever we barbecue or do something like that,
Yeah.
everybody wants me to smoke the ribs.
Yeah.
But probably it's and that I kind of the earlier question. My grandmother passed down her recipe of chocolate chip cookies
Oh.
to me.
Oh yes, the Christmas ones.
No, those are different. That's
Oh.
also my grandmother's
Oh,
recipe.
okay.
But I stick pretty strict to that recipe, but I've changed up the chocolate chip recipe a little bit, a little tweak, and everybody likes my chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've ever had them.
you have,
Oh.
so you don't like them that much apparently. They're
Oh,
forgettable, but
Wow.
no, so yeah, Olivia is a fan of
Okay.
those.
Nice.
So
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
what is your question?
Um, Earl,
Yes.
what food or dish reminds you of a specific memory?
So my food of nostalgia is all related to my grandmother,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
I mentioned her in my sermon before. But she is a good cook, and especially she used what she harvested, so that's the
Cool.
best.
Yeah.
So the specific thing is tofu.
Uh-huh.
You know, we can purchase any tofu from
Yeah.
any kind of grocery store, but her tofu is right out of the bean she harvested.
Oh, wow.
And so she just cleaned them up and then soak it in the water overnight. And she woke up around like 4 a.m. and grind it with the actual stone mill she had,
Yeah.
a small stone mill.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's so cool. So she grind it and make a curd out of it, and then squeeze the. You know, we need to like wrap it in the clothes and then squeeze it and
Yeah.
make the actual tofu out of it.
That's awesome.
So fresh tofu is very warm. So if you have it,
Interesting.
it's really steamy and very fresh.
Yeah.
And so good. Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I feel like there's something like that's what I like about cooking when you can like I feel like growing up and it's not that we did box stuff a lot,
Yeah.
but we did box stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But we also like had a farm, and so we had our cattle. Like we had a cut of beef. Like we got a cow every year basically, and we cut it however we wanted.
Yeah.
But there was something about like you knew the cow,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you knew that's
Yeah.
red, and so you'd feed red, and you there's an attachment you
Yeah.
grow. But like it makes the food more personal, I
Right.
think. And so like that with your grandmother, I feel like is kind of cool.
And the amazing thing is that she did everything on her like a wood stove.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very authentic. Yeah.
That they don't have any like gas stove
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
But so you have to work for it.
Yeah, you do.
And so it's like
Yeah.
a process.
Yeah,
Process.
it
And
is.
so
Yeah.
that's also what I like about barbecue.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's the end product is sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it doesn't. But it's that 16-hour process
Right.
in between of like prepping it and then sitting out there. It's kind of
Is that yours, Chad?
ceremonial.
A specific memory, food memory?
I shared one on Rumor Mill a little bit, and it is probably like more communal. Like when we would go to the farm and aunts and uncles would be
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
my grandmother would cook this chicken that I called the magic chicken, because there was nothing really special. I mean, it was fresh. That was
Yeah.
part of it,
Yeah.
Yes.
but it was a good meal. But I mean, I was 5 or 6 years old, and
Yeah.
so I don't know that my palate was super refined at that point. But I did enjoy. Like I have a very clear image in my head of like my grandfather would sit here and my
It's
dad
not
would
really
sit
just
here.
about the food. It's
Right,
about the
right.
experience of it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Like with my aunts and uncles
Yeah.
and we'd have this like you had the same sides, like we had some fried potatoes and chicken and just salad and these canned. I don't see them anymore, but you know how you do like canned biscuits or something,
Sure.
but it's like long can, and you would twist them up,
Oh,
and yeah, it's like breadsticks.
interesting.
But it's like
Nice.
it is like super canned, like
Yeah.
frozen section.
Yeah.
But for like whatever, I love those, and that I associated with that meal. Like it's
Yeah.
all just
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that my grandmother made that I have like a very visceral, happy memory to. One of the things that's like a family thing is she made these potatoes. They were, the family potatoes. And one year she was going to bring them to Christmas and the weather was really bad and there was a chance that they weren't going to come. And my cousin, who was like 4 or 5, was like, if you can't come, make sure you send the potatoes. And I was just like, how does he think that she's going to send the potatoes? But she didn't. But there's several dishes that she made that I have a very, happy, nostalgic memory about. But the other thing that I think of is my grandmother's second husband, Chris, was Greek, and he made this spaghetti. And he cooked the sauce all day long, and it had Italian sausage in it, and it had all these spices in it, and giardiniera, the kind of pickled vegetables in it, and I can still smell it. I can still remember him cooking it all day. And I have in some ways replicated it a little bit, but not as good. But it's about those happy memories of being with those people more than anything. So
Ashley's grandfather grandfather are Italian, like Sicilian.
Yeah.
And it passed down like a sauce recipe.
Yeah.
And we make it still.
It is so good.
That must be so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Earl, what do you got?
All right. My question.
Final question.
So Megan, what is your comfort meal?
What is my comfort meal? I would say probably like pizza is my comfort meal. I would say, and I have found a crust recipe that I really love that I can make pretty fast. And so recently I've been making dill pickle pizza, which is super good and very random. But I would say just like pizza's a very easy thing that can be very versatile that always makes me feel, good. So I would say carbs in general.
I also feel like you are
cheese.
You've
potatoes.
perfected the use of dill.
Yes,
You
I
like
do.
dill,
I really like dill.
It's tasty.
And casseroles also. I think I grew up, my grandmother and my mother always made a lot of casseroles, and so it's a very comforting thing, which is what I make for the college kids all the time.
Yeah.
Because I think it's that reminder of home. It's everything's in that one pan, and it's just good. And yeah. What about you?
That's probably a taco, but like there's kind of two. There's like comfort food if you're feeling sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that for me is probably like chili.
Yeah.
You just
something warming.
Yeah, warming or like a soup of some sort, stew, or I guess just But like over the fire, cast iron, one skillet, like breakfast taco.
Nice.
And that's like there's just something so I don't know about that.
It's a good way to start the day.
Yeah. It's the getting up, stoking the fire, doing all that.
Yeah.
It's similar to the like you have to work for it, but it's a little bit less about the food and more about the process. And I find that very soothing.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Earl?
So my comfort food is Korean radish soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Radish. Is there anything else other than radishes in it?
Yeah. So radish in Korea is a little bigger and longer, and
is it as
sweeter too?
Spicy? Because radishes are they're too much for me. I can't do it.
So Korean radishes are very like sweet. So if you just cook it in a soup, it just gives you like a sweeter taste. And I just like it because it's just everyday. Any Korean household, eat this dish, anytime. Yeah. So it's just very simple.
What else is in it other than radishes?
So we need to make a seafood broth.
Okay.
So Korean soup is basically based on that, broth, seafood broth, and like dried seaweed, dried anchovies, and dried shrimps. Okay. We just put it in the water and then boil it and make a seafood broth, and then take them out, and then put the chopped radish in there. Yeah, thinly chopped radish in there, and then just cook it. Sometimes some people like beef. Yeah. Put the beef in it.
Is there something you eat with that soup?
Cooked rice.
Okay.
Korean soups. There's no such word like for Korean that we call it cook. But it's not. It's very watery. It's not the soup. Yeah. It's just very watery, and we usually just put the cooked rice in it and then have it with the rice. Yeah. So
interesting.
Very comforting. Yeah.
Radish soup.
This has been fun.
Yes.
And you know what I think made it better?
The fireplace.
The fire.
Yeah, the fire made it a lot better.
It relaxed
us all. I really
all.
do feel like I am on a lakeside watching a fire, talking about random food. You know what would be great if we had s'mores while we were having this conversation over the fire. I just want to throw that out there.
Next time. Yeah. Season 2.
Yeah, season 2. True. Thanks, friends. This was fun.